Oh. All right, so great to see you guys. Happy Friday. It's finally starting to look like spring is here. Oh, that's feeling good. Hope everybody had a lovely week. My name is Meredith. This is our moderate mindful flow class. So this is still going to be very accessible to all levels, but I will be offering some different options as we go along. So there'll be some different things there for you to play with. Just make it your own practice to only do whatever feels good in your own body. And let's have some fun yoga tonight. So we're going to start off a little bit differently this evening. We're actually going to start in an extended child's pose. So we'll bring the big toes together to touch. Your knees come out to the width of the mat. And as you arrive, we'll just go ahead and begin to walk the upper body forward, eventually extending all the way. And you can just settle your forehead down on the mat. And just begin to arrive in the room. Welcoming yourself into the space. Welcoming yourself into your weekend. And the next 60 minutes together, relaxing and moving our bodies. As you begin to settle, let's begin to notice any sensations in the body. Maybe some tingling in the fingertips. Maybe we're already feeling some softening through the back body, feeling of extension there. Maybe noticing the points of contact between your body and the mat below. Just becoming aware of the body. And then maybe beginning to notice the breath here. Perhaps with the next inhale, take it a little bit more slowly, feeling the belly fill, perhaps expanding into that space between your thighs. And with the exhale, just softly letting the air leave the body, feeling it roll out. The whole body softening that happens with the exhale. Continuing to track your breath like that. And I'll be offering hands-on adjustments tonight. If that's not something that you're comfortable with, you can go ahead and give me a little wave now. And that just lets me know to skip you if I'm moving through the class. Awesome. Coming back to the breath. Just feeling it move in and out of the body. Maybe taking a moment to check in with your thoughts here, maybe noticing if the mind is racing or you're feeling a little distracted or muddled, whatever it might be. I'm not necessarily changing anything or judging anything, just kind of observing the quality of our thoughts. And maybe this is something we can check back in with again at the end of class, just to see how things might have settled or shifted. Throughout this month, we've been exploring the idea of letting go. And so for tonight, we're going to think about how we have to notice something first before we can let it go. So we're going to be paying a lot of attention to what our mind is telling us in the postures. Maybe we're already beginning to hear some opinions from the brain about being in this one too long, but we're just going to notice what's there and see if by noticing, we can then release a little and let go a little. So last couple of breaths here in your child's pose. Let's take one more big inhale together through the nose. And big soft exhale out through the mouth. One more like that together, inhaling through the nose, filling the belly, the lungs, all the way up to the shoulder blades. And big exhale, release all the way. Beautiful. And then pressing your elbows into the mat, bring your hands together to touch out in front. And we're just going to bring those prayer hands back behind the back of the head. So even maybe opening the elbows out a little wider here, feeling a stretch through the triceps. And then extending the arms forward again. We're going to separate the hands on the mat. Your gaze can come forward now, looking at that space between your hands. Rooting down through the right palm, we're going to slide the left hand all the way over, stacking the left hand on top of the right, and then just settle again, perhaps resting the forehead down. Staying here for a big inhale, feel the ribs on the left side of the body expand. And then at the end of the exhale, looking forward, we'll bring the left hand back to place, right hand on top of the left. Big breath here. Release. And then separating the hands again on the mat. Slowly begin to press yourself up, and we'll come into a tabletop position. So starting off with a neutral spine, pressing firmly into your hands. Check that the hands are stacked directly beneath your shoulders. Maybe even beginning to press the mat away a little here. And then looking forward with your next inhale, we're going to lower the belly, lift your hips, lift the chest, lift the gaze slightly, moving into cow pose. And then with an exhale, beginning to round the spine, tucking your tailbone under, tucking your chin to your chest. We'll flow through a couple more of those, moving with your own breath. So inhaling through cow. And exhaling through cat. One more. And then we'll meet back with a neutral spine. Back into your tabletop. We're going to shift the torso over to the right, and then this time scooping the chest down as you come through the center, coming up on the left side, and then rounding the spine as you come over the top. So we're kind of rolling the whole torso through, under and up, over and down. Beautiful. Last one this direction, and then we'll slowly shift directions. This time starting to the left, scooping under, up to the right, and rounding over the top. Two more like that, moving with your own breath. And we'll come back to neutral spine. From here, we're going to slide the right knee forward and then plant the right foot between the hands in front in a gentle low lunge. And then you can bring the hands up to the top of the thigh and just take a moment to really ground down in here, feeling your knee rooted. If you need a little bit of padding, you can always slide a blanket under the knee. And I'm just going to shift the body weight forward and back a little bit. And we want to land where that knee is stacked directly over the ankle. So we're not dumping down into the hips too much, but keeping everything nice and lifted. Think about tucking your belly button back towards your spine here too, keeping the core engaged. And then with the next inhale, sweeping the arms up, your gaze follows your hands, hands to touch. We're going to exhale, take those prayer hands back behind the head like we did in our child's pose. Spread your elbows out wide, lifting your heart to the ceiling here. Big stretch across the back. We'll stay here for a breath. And then with your next inhale, reaching up. Exhale, both hands come back down. We're going to plant the left hand and then inhale, reaching up into an easy twist to the right. Really nice. Stay here for a breath. Feel a full extension through your fingertips, energizing that top arm. And then exhale, release the arm back down. And we'll slide the right knee back. Let's take a quick cat-cow here in between to reset. So inhaling to cow, exhaling, arching the back through cat, and back to neutral. This time we'll slide the left knee forward, left foot comes forward, hands to the thigh. And again, just kind of shifting around, wiggling into it, and landing where we feel nice and stable and symmetrical. Inhale, both arms sweep up, hands together to touch. Exhale, drop those hands back behind the head, spread the elbows, lift the heart. Beautiful. Stay for another breath. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, both hands down, planting the right hand this time. We'll open up into easy twist to the left. Think of drawing your top left shoulder back in space to open the chest. And then exhale, releasing the twist. And left knee slides back. One more cat-cow here. I guess I should say cow-cat since we're starting with cow. The gaze lifts, hips lift. And exhale, pressing the mat away, rounding the spine. And back to neutral. Tuck your toes under. This time with an inhale, we're going to press into the toes, lift the hips all the way up and back. First down dog of the day. So you can Take any movement here you like. We'll be here for 3 breaths. So moving nice and slow, maybe bending the knees one at a time or both together. Maybe shifting the hips slowly side to side. Playing with different pressure through each hand. Even bend the elbows a bit. And then coming back into stillness in your down dog, think of lifting up through the hips, pressing down through the fingertips, maybe even clawing the fingertips into the mat a little so arms are nice and active. And then with your next inhale, we're going to sweep the right leg high to the sky, 3-legged dog. And then bend the right knee, where the right heel is going to fall towards your hip. Your hips are opening out to the right side of the room a little. And from here, we'll take some big knee circles. We're drawing circles with the knee in one direction. And then maybe reverse, take it around the other way. Inhale to re-extend. And exhale, release your right foot down. Looking forward between the hands, we're going to shift your body weight forward into a high plank pose. Always have the option to lower your knees to the mat in your plank. Otherwise, we'll stay here for one more inhale. One more exhale. One more inhale. And then exhale, keep the elbows squeezed to the body, lower yourself all the way down onto the mat. Untuck your toes. Hands beneath your shoulders. With an inhale, we're going to scoop the chest forward in a baby cobra. Shoulders moving away from your ears. And then exhale, release it back down again. We'll do one more just like that. Inhale, lifting up through the chest. The upward facing dog's part of your practice. You can come up all the way, straightening through the arms. Perhaps even the gaze lifts. And then exhale, releasing everything back down. Tuck the toes. Inhale to press up through plank or tabletop, and then making your way all the way back. Downward facing dog. This time with an inhale, sweep the left leg high to the sky. And then bending the left knee. Allowing gravity to pull your heel down towards the floor as you open your hips to the left. And then we'll make some knee circles on this side if that felt good on the other side. One direction. And switching directions, taking your circles around the other way. Maybe making bigger or smaller circles, and then inhale to re-extend. Exhale back to down dog. Inhale, shift forward back into plank pose. Take another mini vinyasa here. So inhaling at the top. Exhale to lower down. Inhale, scoop your chest forward and up, baby cobra, or maybe up dog. Exhale to release. Tucking the toes. Inhale, pressing all the way up and back. Downward facing dog. Let's take a big breath here to reset. Big inhale through the nose. Big exhale out through the mouth. Inhale, look forward between your hands. We're going to slowly walk all the way up to the front of the mat. Coming into a forward fold. Let's take the feet out as wide as the mat. And then reaching for opposite elbows here. Just letting everything hang heavy. Allowing your shoulders to be soft. Your neck, arms. Maybe shaking the head a little, yes and no. And then we're going to take some big, gentle sways from side to side here. I'm allowing gravity to find that nice extension through the back. And then coming back to center, release your hands to the mat. We're going to step the feet back in, hip width apart and parallel. And this time with an inhale, slowly roll your spine up, one vertebra at a time, all the way up to standing. Head comes up last. Tadasana, mountain pose. Beautiful. And we'll just take a pause here. So your shoulders are soft down your back. Palms can face forward, just hanging easy. Really feel yourself rooting down through both feet here. Nice and grounded. And then inhale, we're going to sweep both arms up. So we're going to reach for opposite elbows, or maybe we're just grabbing for somewhere down the forearms, but wherever you can grab. Inhale to lift the heart. With an exhale, we're going to slowly bend it over to the right. We're going to continue to scoop the top arm back. So it's almost like we're trying to face the ceiling, deep opening through the chest, through the side ribs. And then we'll slowly come back up through center and taking that stretch over to the left. Even press your hips to the right a little here, shining your heart up to the ceiling as you come into that deep side bend. And then back through center, and releasing the arms down by your side. And kind of shake them a little if that feels good. Inhale, arms sweep up, hands to touch. So with an exhale, we're going to slice prayer hands all the way down the center line of the body, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Your hands can come to your shins. You can also use your blocks here if that gives you a little more support wherever you are. Nice straight spine, grounding down through both feet. Imagine you're pressing the crown of the head forward to the front of the room so your tailbone reaches back. Another inhale here. And exhale, softening forward. We're going to step the left foot back all the way into a low lunge. Left knee comes down to the mat, untucking the back toes. Inhale, both arms sweep up, hands together to touch. With your exhale, lowering the hands down behind the head, taking your elbows wide. We'll pause here for a breath. Inhale, elbows drawing back, heart lifting. And then reaching up. And exhale, both hands come back down. We're going to tuck the left toes. Right foot steps back to meet the left, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Beautiful. And from here, we're going to inhale, take the right leg high, three-legged dog. Exhale, step the right knee through. This time, yogi's choice. You can keep the back knee lifted for a little more heat or lower it to the mat for more support. Nice. And just shifting forward and back again. First time in this deep lunge. And then as you're ready with an inhale, sweeping both arms forward, we'll come all the way up, finding our way to crescent lunge. We'll be here for a few breaths. So we have some time to arrive in the posture. You can, if your knee is lifted here, pressing back through the heel, firing up the front of your left hip flexor there. Arms are strong. Imagine you've got lightning bolts shooting out of the fingertips here, but your shoulders are soft. So there's energy, but there's softness there. See if you're holding onto any tension in your face, in your jaw, noticing what's here. Beautiful. One more big inhale, reach. And then drawing the hands together. Once again, we're going to drop them back behind the head. See how it feels in this more elevated position. Inhale to lift the heart. Exhale, find some softness. And then reaching up. This time we're going to take prayer hands down through center, draw it into a twist, twisting over to the right. Prayer twist. So the outside of the left elbows hooking on the outside of the right knee. Beautiful. You can stay here. You can always lower the back knee for some more support if you haven't already done so. If you want a little more heat, maybe see how it feels to reach the arms in opposite directions, flying the arms here. Stay for one more breath. And then release it back through center. Plant the hands to frame your foot. Left foot steps up to meet your right. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, release it forward. Inhale, arms come out wide, reverse swan dive all the way up to standing, hands to touch. And exhale, hands through heart center. Beautiful. Just pausing here for a breath. Noticing what's shifting. We're going to be holding some of the postures maybe a little longer than we normally do tonight. So definitely take a break anytime you need. You can always come into a child's pose, but also it's an opportunity to listen to our own minds too. When we're telling ourselves that this sucks and I hate this, is usually when the good stuff starts to happen. Just a little challenge there. Inhale, arms reach up, hands touch. Exhale, forward fold, center line of the body. We're going to step the right foot back this time. Right knee comes down to the mat. Inhale, arms sweep up, hands touch. And exhale, prayer hands behind the head, heart lifts. Beautiful. Inhale, re-extend. And exhale, all the way down. Tuck the back toes, step it all the way back. Downward facing dog. On this side, we're going to inhale, take the left leg high. Exhale, take the left foot through between the hands. This time the right knee can stay lifted if you like. Always the option to lower to the mat. Taking a moment to arrive in your runner's lunge. Feel grounded into both feet. And then as you're ready, inhale, arms reach up, all the way up, crescent lunge. Making any adjustments here, you need to feel stable. Feeling a little wobbly, you can take your feet a little wider to the width of the mat. So noticing the hip points. Imagine you have a headlight shining forward out of each of your hip points. So nice and parallel there. Be allowing the right hip to come forward just a little. Beautiful. Arms reaching up. And we'll bring the hands together to touch. Prayer hands behind the head, opening the elbows out wide, lifting the heart. Inhale to re-extend. And exhale, bringing prayer hands down into your twist. So hooking the elbow on the outside of your knee. Beautiful. Again, lowering the back knee for more support if you like. And then same option here if you want to increase the intensity a little bit, maybe beginning to fly those arms out wide. Really pressing into the elbow to drive the twist. And then releasing back through center. Plant the hands on either side of your foot. Right foot steps up this time. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up to standing, hands to touch. And exhale, Samasthiti, hands to heart center. Beautiful. We're going to flow through that a little faster now, one breath to movement, so it won't be such torturous holds. Inhale, arms sweep up, hands touch. Exhale, forward fold. Plant the hands and left foot steps back this time. Knee can stay lifted or lowered. Inhale, both arms sweep up. Exhale, prayer hands behind the head. Inhale, re-extend. Exhale, hands to frame the foot, tuck your back toes. Step it back to downward facing dog. With your inhale, right leg sweeps to the sky. Exhale, step it through. Finding your way into your lunge as you're ready. Inhale all the way up, crescent lunge. Hands to touch, prayer hands behind the head, lift the heart. Re-extend, keeping the hands together, we'll come right into our prayer twist. Staying here for one inhale, flying the arms if you like. And then slowly unwind back through center, plant the hands, back foot steps up. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, arms wide, all the way up to standing, hands to touch. Hands to heart center. Taking that to the other side, inhale, circle sweep the arms. And forward fold. Beautiful. Plant the hands. This time, right foot steps back, knee to the mat if you like. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands behind the head. Open the shoulders. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hands down. Tuck the toes back to downward dog. Beautiful. And from here, inhale, left leg sweeps high. Exhale to step it through. Inhale, reaching up, crescent lunge. Hands together, hands behind the head. Reaching tall and taking your hands into a prayer twist over to the left this time. And releasing through center. Plant the hands, back foot steps up. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, arms out wide, all the way up to standing, hands to touch, and hands to heart center. Beautiful. So let's go ahead and close our eyes here for a moment. Feel your big toe mounds pressing down into the mat. Maybe even the edges of your pinky toes. Heels are grounded. And make sure we're not locking the knees here. So there's perhaps a little micro bend in the knees. Feeling nice and solid. Let's take a big inhale. Feel your chest, your heart rising up towards your thumbs. And then feel a full body exhale. Just imagine that energy shooting down through the body, out through the soles of the feet. And then releasing the hands to the side. Open your eyes. I'm going to flow through that one more time. Inhale, arms reach up, hands touch. And exhale, coming all the way forward. Plant your hands, left foot steps back, knee to the mat. Inhale, both arms up, hands touch. Exhale, hands behind the head. Inhale, reach. And exhale, back down. Step it back to down dog. We'll inhale, right leg sweeps high, three-legged dog. And exhale, step it through. Inhale, up crescent lunge. Hands to touch, hands behind the head. Inhale, reach. And moving into your prayer twist. One inhale here. And slowly unwind. Hands to touch. Step your back foot up. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, arms out wide all the way up. And hands to heart center. Last time, I promise. Inhale, arm sweep, hands touch. Exhale, forward fold. See if you can move here without thinking about it. Hands to touch, right foot steps back. Knee to the mat. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, hands to the back of the head. Inhale, reach. Exhale, lower. Tuck the back toes. Step it back to down dog. Inhale, left leg sweeps high. Exhale to step it through. Inhale, we reach. Hands to touch. Hands to the back. Big inhale breath here, really pressing back against the hands, open the heart. Inhale, reach up. And prayer twist to the right. I think you guys are on the left. Sorry, my bad. I said wrong. Okay. Unwind. And we'll step it up. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, arms out wide. All the way up to standing, hands touch. And exhale, hands to heart center. Beautiful. From here, we're going to step the left foot back all the way to the back of the mat. So we're coming to face the long edge of the mat. I'm going to flip around this way so you guys can see what we're doing here. We're going to bring our toes to point out towards the edges of the mat. So your heels are in slightly. And starting from the base of your foundation, feel yourself grounding through your feet, making sure we're not locking the knees out. Beautiful. And then inhale, reaching up with the arms, keeping the hands separated this time. Exhale, bend deeply into both knees, coming into a goddess squat, keeping the fingertips reaching for the ceiling here. And just noticing your breath. If you can keep your breath nice and slow and measured here, building heat through the quads. And hold right here. If you like, you can introduce a gentle pulse. Just moving slightly up and down, if that feels good. Beautiful. Let's continue here for one more breath. And slowly taking the hands to the inside of the thighs. We're going to press the hands, really bracing against the inside of the thighs as your shoulders come forward. Feel the length in your back. And then with an exhale, we're going to bring the left shoulder towards your right knee. You can look back over the right shoulder here. Sorry, other side. Good. Inhale through center. And exhale, take it over the other way. To the back. There you go. Beautiful. And inhale through center. Exhale, looking forward. One more inhale through center. And twisting to the back. Coming back through center, keeping your hips nice and low, reaching up one more time with the arms. This time pausing here, we're going to press into the toes of the left foot, lifting the left heel. And then release that down. And right heel lifts. And lowers. Left heel lifts. And lowers. And right heel. Release. If you like, you can continue one each side or see how it feels to lift up both heels. Lifting both heels, the legs are probably shaking. That's all good. Building some heat. Let's stay here for one more inhale. And exhale, release the heels down. Inhale to reach up, straighten through the legs, straighten the arms. And moving into star pose here. So fingertips are reaching for opposite sides of the room, pressing through the big toes. Beautiful. And then exhale, take the arms around behind back, find an interlace grip behind you here. We're going to move the toes back towards each other. So your heels are slightly out this time, toes moving in. Inhale, lift the heart, draw your knuckles away from your low back here. Beautiful. And then with an exhale, we're slowly going to fold forward all the way. Allow your clasped hands to move forward over the back of your head. Nice big opening through the shoulders here. And then when you're ready, we'll release the clasped hand grip, releasing your hands to the mat below. Beautiful. If it's part of your practice to reach for your heels here, you can do so. You can walk your hands through your legs, moving towards the back edge of your mat here. Beautiful. Think of moving your heart towards the mat rather than the top of your head. Keep the nice level through the spine. Really nice. Staying with the breath. And then looking forward, we're going to walk the hands forward just as far as you can till you get a good stretch. Reaching forward here. And then you can anchor through the hands as you press back with the heels. You should feel a nice stretch through the shoulders. And then we'll slowly walk the hands back through center. I'm going to plant the right hand beneath your face. And then inhale to lift up with the left hand. Opening up into a twist towards the back of the room. Beautiful. One more inhale here. And exhale, slowly soften back through center. Replacing your right hand with your left. Twisting open to the front this time. Staying here for a breath. Think about trying to draw your two hands into a straight line so that top shoulder is pressing back. Really nice. Perhaps the gaze even lifts up towards the top arm. Soften a little through your shoulder here. Yeah. Beautiful. And exhale to lower that hand back down through center. Bring both hands to your hips, pressing firmly into your feet. Nice straight spine, standing all the way up through center. Inhale, arms reach up, hands touch. And exhale, hands down through heart center. Beautiful. And from here, we're going to turn which toes are we on here? The right toes turn towards the front of the mat. Yes, beautiful. Take the arms out wide, bending deeply through that front knee, moving into warrior two pose. We're going to be here for 5 breaths, moving with your own breath here. I'm giving you an opportunity to explore the posture. Shoulders are softening away from your ears. And think of pressing into the back edge of your back foot. Nice. Really soften here. Just a little. Beautiful. Your gaze could be over your front middle finger or to the side of the room if that's more comfortable. Press the foot against me here. Yeah. I'm just going to fire up in there. Yeah, lovely. Beautiful. Really nice. Feeling energy with the inhale. And softness with the exhale. And then as you're ready with your next inhale, we're going to straighten through the front leg, slowly bringing the hands together to touch overhead. Bringing your right toes in, left toes come to point towards the back of the room, and we'll open out into warrior two towards the back. And first thing to notice here is how this side might feel different than the other side. So maybe the front knee bends a little bit more deeply. Maybe feeling a little less stable here. Cool. Behind you here. Soften the shoulder a little. Really nice. And then really press into this foot. Beautiful. Light. Breath is soft. Notice what your mind is telling you here. Just the point at which we want to call it. Just being aware, seeing if you can hear that, and then release it. Next inhale, straighten through the front leg, arms together to touch overhead. And we'll go ahead and bring right toes to point forward again, left toes point in, and stepping all the way back up to the front of the mat. Beautiful. Let the arms go by your sides. Give yourself a little shake if you like. Really nice. From here, we're going to strengthen out the right leg. So think of drawing your right kneecap up into your thigh. And then you can have your hands on your hips for balance, or bring the hands to heart center. We're going to make our way into tree pose. So some different options. You can bring the left heel to your right ankle. Sole of your foot can come up to your calf, or perhaps all the way up to your inner thigh. We really want to avoid putting any pressure on the knee joint. So you want to be above or below the knee. And slowly arriving in your tree pose. You fall out a few times, 10 times. Doesn't matter. We just keep trying, keep coming back. Find a single point of focus for your gaze in front of you, your drishti. Just holding the gaze soft, focusing on the breath. As you're ready, if you're feeling stable, perhaps we'll try to grow the branches, reaching up, maybe taking your branches out wide. I want to challenge your balance here. Another option is to try and close the eyes. And we'll slowly bring hands back to heart center. Bring your left knee forward and then gently release both feet standing. And kind of pedal out the feet a little here if that feels good. Let's take that over to the other side. So again, starting from hands on hips or hands to heart center, strengthening out the left leg this time. And then slowly bringing your right leg up to wherever is the right place for your tree pose. Finding your focused gaze. Maybe even listening to the sound of your own breath here. As you're ready, reaching your branches for the sky. Branches can come out wide. Another fun variation is prayer hands behind the back. I want to try something new. Beautiful. And then we'll slowly make our way back to Samastiti, hands at heart center. Right knee releases forward and down, giving yourself a little shake here. Really nice. From here, go ahead and reach for your blocks. We're going to bring the blocks to the front of the mat here and just stacking them right in front of your feet. Beautiful. And then from standing, inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, big swan dive forward all the way, bringing your hands to your blocks. Inhale, half lift, make that upside down letter L shape, pressing back with the hips. And then from here, we're going to press up onto the toes. So we're actually lifting up off the heels here. And then we're slowly gonna bend the knees, making our way into toe pose. If it's more comfortable for your knees, you can make your way to the floor first. So however you get there. I'm thinking of pressing the tops of the feet forward here. You can keep your hands on your blocks, or as you're ready, if you want to play with your balance, maybe one hand, maybe both hands up to heart center. This is toe pose. Beautiful. Well, if you're feeling wobbly, just reach for your blocks again, maybe one hand. Really nice. Think of stacking the head right over the tailbone, right over the shoulders. So heart stays lifted. Really nice. Big breath in, big breath out. And then we'll all bring our hands back to the blocks. Slowly gonna walk the hands over to the left side of the mat. You can stay here and get a nice twist. Another option, if this isn't feeling good in your knees, you can actually come down onto your knees and take that twist. You're still here with me in toe, and you want to try something a little different. We can move into side crow from here. For side crow, your left elbow is going to come to your back hip, your right elbow to your right. And just begin to lean your body weight over. So we're putting all of our weight down into your palms and making a little shelf for that big thigh bone with your elbows here. And if you get to this point, you want to begin to play around, see how it feels to lift one foot, and maybe eventually both feet lifting up from the mat. And if you're already here and flying the feet, perhaps trying to extend one leg. Just something to play around with there. Maybe giving it one more go. It's just seeing how it feels to begin to support your weight there. And then we'll press back up, slowly walking the hands back through center. And straightening up through the back of the spine. Maybe bringing the hands back to heart center just for a breath in between. And then releasing back to our blocks. Slowly take that twist around to the other side. So find the twist to start and then begin to bend into the elbows. And again, you're just positioning one elbow behind the knee, one outside the hip. Spread your fingers out wide to make a really nice, strong, sturdy base of support here. Beginning to lean your weight over this way. Maybe see how it feels just to lift off of one toe, one foot, and then maybe eventually both feet. So just continuing to play with that. A lot of the arm balances is really just trying it, and then suddenly it just will happen. So maybe playing around a try or two, and then we'll press back up, slowly walk it back through center. Beautiful. Pause here for one more breath. Maybe hands back to heart center. One more. And release. Hands come down. We're going to bring the knees back all the way, coming into a tabletop position. Let's go ahead and take a cat-cow, or rather a cow-cat here, just to do a quick reset. So inhale, lower the belly, spread your collarbone wide, lift your hips. And then exhale, curling the spine, really exaggerating the motion here. And then coming back to neutral. From here, we're going to swing the right foot slightly off the right side of the mat. Left foot steps back all the way, and inhale, lifting up through the left hand. You can stay here with the knee pressed into the mat. If it's part of your practice, you want to give it a try. You can also try stepping the right foot back to meet the left into a full side plank. A couple of options there. If you're in your full side plank and you want to increase the heat a little bit more, perhaps see how it feels to float the top leg. Really nice. Your shoulders are moving away from each other. These top left fingers are reaching for the sky. And if we're taking the full side plank, go ahead and lower the knee again. And then we'll slowly come back through center, back to our tabletop. Keeping your knees together, go ahead and sink your hips all the way back onto your heels. Release the forehead to the mat. If you like, you can reach your arms back through your toes. And then slowly beginning to unroll and come back into our tabletop. Now, let's take that over to the other side. So this time the left leg swings off the mat. Right foot steps back all the way, bringing your weight into your left palm this time. Right fingertips reach for the ceiling. Finding your supported kneeling half moon first. And then if you like, maybe the left leg steps back all the way, coming into full side plank. And maybe even playing around with floating that top leg. We're in full side plank. Go ahead and allow the knee to come to the mat first. And then we'll slowly make our way back through center. And sit back to child's pose one more time. Yogi's choice this time. You can take your extended child's pose with the knees out wide or keeping the knees together. So whatever feels right in your body. And let's just check in and notice how we're feeling compared to when we started tonight. It's the same pose as we opened in. But maybe we feel a little more heat in the body, a little more softness. Noticing any shift. Maybe nothing's happened at all. That's all good too. And then slowly beginning to roll yourself up. Back to sit on your heels. As you're ready, we'll swing the legs out front, scoot your hips up. So we're about halfway down the mat. Reach for one of your blocks. We're going to put that about halfway down the mat, so it's just next to us within reach. Really nice. Tuck your fingers behind your knees, feet are hip width apart. Inhale to lift the heart, nice straight spine, and then exhale, slowly rolling yourself back all the way, one vertebra at a time, taking your time to make it all the way back. Beautiful. From here, bring your heels in close to your body. And you can extend your arms long, maybe your middle fingers are tickling the back of your heels here. Feeling grounded through both feet. And then as you're ready, we'll inhale to lift the hips and reach for that block. We set just off to the side. You're going to slide it under your sacrum, your tailbone. You can have it on the lowest height. If you want a more intense back stretch, perhaps try it on the medium height. So what works for you. And then just allow your weight to be fully supported here by the block. Beautiful. So supported bridge pose. Think of pressing your shins forward to the front of the room as the back releases. You can stay right here in your supported bridge. Or if you like, perhaps reaching the legs, keep your feet grounded right where they were. Yeah, that's great. Like that. Or perhaps reaching your legs up for the ceiling, supported legs up the wall pose. A little inversion here. Imagine you're holding up the ceiling with the soles of your feet. And one final option here to try. Let's perhaps see how it feels to bring the soles of the feet together, bending your knees, coming into a supported reclined bound angle pose. Supta Baddha Konasana. If the soles of the feet are touching, maybe even reach through, reaching for your ankles or the outer edges of your feet. Really all about finding what feels right in your body, finding the stretch that your body wants tonight. And if we've got the ankles or feet, we'll go ahead and release that, extend the legs long one more time, and then bending the knees, slowly releasing the feet all the way down to the mat. Pressing into both feet, inhale, lift your hips up just enough to remove the block, and releasing your hips back to the mat. Extend your right leg long, draw your left knee into your chest, interlace your fingers over the left knee, squeezing it in. This is our wind removing pose. Think of grounding the low back down into the mat. And feeling for that opposite extension between your knee and the heel of your extended leg here. And slowly release that leg long. And draw your opposite knee up into your chest, maybe taking the opposite interlace grip with your hands too. Take the opposite thumb on top. And squeezing the knee in towards your shoulder. Maybe it even rolls out a little to the side, moving closer to your armpit. And the extended leg stays active here, so pressing your heel away. Squeeze your knee in towards the body. As you inhale, feel your belly pressing against the inside of your thigh here. Exhale, feel the release of your low back into the mat. And then letting that go, slowly extending both legs. This time drawing both knees in towards your chest. You can wrap your forearms around your shins, maybe reaching for opposite wrists or opposite elbows. Squeeze your knees in tight if you like, maybe making a little rock from side to side, massaging out through the low back. And then coming back to stillness in the center. And stay here with the head released down onto the mat, or maybe begin to tuck your chin, drawing your forehead up towards your knees, making yourself a tight little ball here. And then slowly letting that go. We're going to allow both knees to fall over to the right, making our way into a supine twist. And any variation here of a twist that feels good to you is great. Perhaps that top leg is extending out straight. Perhaps we're supporting the knees on a block. You can see how it feels to cross one ankle over the other. That gives you a different kind of twist, different kind of sensation. And then slowly bringing the knees back through center. We'll take that over to the other side. Maybe whatever variation we took on the other side, we'll find that this way too. Some symmetry. Think of grounding both shoulders into the mat here. And then we'll slowly roll both knees back through center. Extend both your legs long. And we'll make our way into our final Shavasana. So go ahead and reach for anything you need to be comfy here. Want a sweater or some socks or a blanket. Maybe it feels good to slide a bolster under the knees. Maybe you like to have something covering the eyes. Whatever you need to find a restful pose here. We'll check back in with the breath one final time. Let's take one big inhale through the nose. Feel it drawing down into the base of the belly, filling the lungs entirely. And then as you exhale, let it all go. Nothing more to do, just be. And slowly begin to become aware of the body again. If there's any little movements here, maybe a little bit of wiggling in the fingers and toes. And then perhaps making some wrist circles or ankle circles. Feels good. Maybe rocking the head from side to side, massage for the back of the head. And then if it's calling to you, maybe a big full body stretch, reaching the arms up overhead, pointing your toes away, feeling that full length in the body. If you like, maybe rolling onto one side and pause just for a moment here. Wherever you are, just taking a moment of gratitude for yourself, for making this time, for making the effort, doing the work. If you're ready, slowly begin to push yourselves up. Meet in a cross-legged seated position or any seated position that's comfortable for you. Maybe resting the hands on the thighs. Find a nice straight spine. You can tuck your chin slightly to your chest. And we'll close the eyes again just for a moment here. Let's take a couple of communal breaths. So we'll exhale to begin. And then a big deep inhale through the nose. Big exhale, sigh. Let's do one more like that. Inhaling through the nose. And big exhale, release. And open your eyes, draw your hands together at heart center. And draw your forehead towards your hands. And we'll close by saying namaste. Namaste. Thank you all for practicing with me, letting me guide you, and wishing you guys a beautiful weekend. Again, my name is Meredith. If you guys wanted to check in with me on anything we did today, have any comments or questions, be happy to hear from you. And otherwise, lovely to see you all, and I hope to see you again soon. Take care. Thank you. And thanks to friends on Zoom. Great to see you guys. Have a beautiful weekend.
Are you new to
Bye-bye.
Friday evenings or have you been doing this before?